The next stop was the Mississippi River out of Fort Madison. And I'm going to tell you, talk about a tough tournament. You know, this was a really tough one. You had high muddy water, you had fish that were spread out, and you were coming off of a major flood. So this was a real tough event. I decided to fish backwaters in this event. You know, you had main river and backwaters, and I decided to fish backwater. I locked one time up, and I found a backwater that held a concentration of fish. I knew it was going to be tough. I'll be honest with you, the first day, I didn't adjust, I didn't figure it out, but I stuck with it, and the second and third day, I caught limits both days. And I did that by slowing down and finesse fishing a jig. You know, when you talk about jig fishing, normally you think about a big jig, you know, ripping it up off the bottom, but you could get a jig and you could finesse fish it and fish it slow and deliberate, and that's what I did. And of course, I used the Berkley Ike's Finesse gripper jig, but I made a modification to the jig that really helped me catch these finicky fish. So I took the normal jig and I used the small one. I used a 1/4 ounce jig, black and blue, and we've got a 2-part skirt on this jig. And what I did in this tournament was I took the regular silicone skirt completely off. Get rid of that silicone skirt. And what you're left with is you're left with a hand-tied living rubber section. And it's not a lot, it's just a small little puff of living rubber. And then to that, I added a Berkley chigger craw. You know, this is probably one of the best jig trailers out there. And I just threaded that thing on there, and if you look at it, it takes a normal jig and it makes it into a smaller, more compact package. I took that little tiny jig, I fished it slow around any kind of wood or grass cover I could find. I was able to get 5 bites a day, 5 keeper bites a day the last 2 days, and move up in points. When things are tough, get a little jig, take that skirt off, make it finesse, and you'll catch more fish.